Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times, and
This is Aalyia Shaukat with the EDN.
so we're here today on the show floor of CES in 2025 in Las Vegas. Yeah, I think it's been quite interesting for me. It's all been about AI and healthcare and a bit of automotive. What about you?
Yes, a whole lot of AI. AI at the edge, AI in automotive, and AI in medical.
Yeah, I mean, it's the big thing, obviously, is the few keynotes. I mean, I
Yeah.
heard about the Delta keynote last night. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, and then there was the Jensen Huang keynote
Right.
the night before. Now, I referred to Jensen Huang as a showman, and he delivered in terms of that razzmatazz. But he basically. With the new announcements, and we'll cover those in a few days in EE Times.
Yes, yeah.
But the few announcements around locking more people into that AI ecosystem and bringing more people into it with the open knowledge models and World Foundation models. But
Yeah.
the Delta one was, I spoke to quite a few people who attended. It was in the Sphere, and that was an amazing experience, they said, with a 30-minute performance from Lenny Kravitz afterwards. But the Delta keynote speaker basically talked about this whole future of travel and being able to unlock, do everything simplistically. The stuff we see from our chip companies talking about smart homes and smart kitchens and smart garages and smart cities.
Actually,
just with the flying and the traveling. But anyway, that's me sort of talking about the visionary stuff. But there seems to be a lot of that.
Yeah, we got to speak with the Siemens EDA CEO, and there was a real focus on semiconductor being the center of it all, and how Jensen delivering a keynote in CES is actually quite new and different from previous CESs, and that is really just because of the there's just a lot of global semiconductor shaping global geopolitics and how the whole process of design is now becoming more influenced by AI.
Yeah.
So, using generative AI to in-chip design, as well as they showcase their PAVE 360 platform for software, for basically cloud based virtual vehicles.
I think that's very similar to
comprehensive digital twins.
Correct. Similar to what NVIDIA was talking about in their keynote, which is about the robotics, the autonomy, and all of that feeding into I think the Cosmos platform and the Omniverse platform, and how that will feed a new generation of autonomous vehicle development and not autonomous driving. And then there's many ecosystem. The other thing I think was quite interesting was ecosystem announcements, not just from NVIDIA, but from lots of other companies looking at building out their ecosystem for whether it's AI, whether it's for automotive, whether it's for edge, the wearables, hearables, that kind of stuff. Synaptics, I spoke to with their relationship with Google. I also managed to speak to Google's Billy Rutledge to talk about why they're doing this, and it's a really, really good story, and I'll be writing that up in EE Times.
Yes.
I think
you were speaking about vehicles and in automotive. Of course, there's a lot on software-defined vehicles as well. And TI had a couple of new chips come out to help with ADAS and IVI applications. ADI is also really focused on their E2B bus as well as their A2B bus for audio, and the GMSL technology. So really just a lot of weight savings in lowering the cable and just moving moving towards a more zonal architecture.
I mean, the things I missed are things like the connectivity. For example, SIVA. I went to see SIVA and the stuff they're doing, and everything from the spatial audio to ultra wideband, and then some of the embedded AI stuff with Edge Impulse. But SIVA Synaptics. You know what? That leads me into another area, which was health. Before we go into health, there's also a company I met today called 0 Point Technology, and they're doing memory compression in hardware to enable what they say 1.5 times more capability in terms of performance or bandwidth or TOPS, whatever. Because you're doing the memory compression.
That's a very interesting problem.
So anyway, health was another area, wasn't it?
Yes, it certainly was. There was an ECG demo by TI using BLE technology. Did you see some medical applications?
I spent quite a lot of time on ST Microelectronics booth looking at some of their health applications. Again, the vision of technology and how it can be done. But also, interesting fact, he said, I think the paper in the 1600s, which basically, some research said in the 1600s, they were able to identify certain diseases by the lick of a tongue or something. And so it brings into things like sweat and smell and all that for indicating certain parameters. With what he said was now with the sensors and the AI, you are able to, we're in an era now where you can actually use some processing to figure out what's going on.
Right, like driver monitoring systems, checking whether or not a driver's falling asleep based on heart rate or breathing.
So there's and then I looked at some of the the things you do with the ECG helmets and all that. One of the things I think quite a few people have told me is because I asked why hasn't this been done before if we've known the process, the principle. Well, it's because now we've got so much edge processing capability, and the ST booth I saw some of the new microcontrollers with the neural network accelerators.
Oh, right, and they have a very hefty, beefy NPU for some very extreme processing.
But I'm sure I've missed a few.
Acceleration.
Missed a few things. But what about you? Anything else?
There was the Infineon booth tour, and that was really just powering AI. Going from the grid all the way down to just the GPU. Then we talked a little bit about their GAN tech, and they're integrated. They're working on an integrated gate driver for kind of lower voltage GAN devices. But that was very interesting. There's a lot of innovative solutions about powering AI and powering those edge systems.
On the AI, I interviewed the CEO of Edge Cortex today, and we've been talking about some of the things they're doing with Sakura 2, and their new Sakura X, which is basically using chiplets and a RISC-V CPU. To deliver a lot more performance and using UCIe, not just die to die, but module to module. So it's quite interesting. And then we talked about some of their investment subsidy that they've received from the Japanese government to do the AI RAN alliance development work with their chip. So it's that'll be in the interview.
Yes.
Overall, I think it's been a busy 2 days.
It has been.
I think also I've seen a lot, and look, just even in this healthcare.
Actually, there was a lot of tech around Wi-Fi 6 and BLE and BLE audio. So kind of how Wi-Fi 6 is catered towards IoT devices a little bit more with things like target wake-up time. And TWT. And so I actually had a chat with Daniel Cooley, CTO of SI Labs.
He's always good.
Yes, and he spoke about Wi-Fi 6 and their new module. And how it has half the power consumption of competing modules.
I mean, you're posting stuff on EDN as well as EE Times, so I'll be doing that as well during this week. So,
absolutely.
If you want to know more details on
Stay
all of
tuned.
those, I think you should be checking those out. Well, hopefully we'll get something to you from the busyness of the next couple of days.
Yes.
But anyway, keep watching EE Times, and also watch out for Aaliyah's reports in EE Times and EDN. And that's all for today.